fourth of the 5 steps, Chinese characters. From the videos of the previous several steps, we've already learned how to pronounce Chinese. Now, in today's video, the 4th step, we're going to learn about how Chinese is actually written and recorded. That's right, it's time to learn about the famous system of Chinese characters. I know, you may have heard people say that Chinese is the hardest language in the world and give us the main reason the fact that Chinese characters are so difficult. But this is a misunderstanding of Chinese, and today we're going to learn the truth about Chinese characters and dispel the myths. So, what form do Chinese characters take? Exactly, and how did Chinese develop this unique writing system? To put it simply, Chinese characters evolved from ancient pictographs. In early days, people drew pictures of common and familiar things. This was the most primitive form of Chinese writing, which gradually changed over many centuries into the characters we use today. Let's look at a few examples. The first example is the word sun. This word was originally rendered as looking like the circle of the sun in the sky. This gradually morphed into the modern character for sun, 日. The second example is the word mountain. It was originally rendered as this pictograph ultimately evolved into the modern character 山. Another example is the word person. It was originally rendered as depicting a standing person, which then turned into the modern character 人. The last example is the word mouth. It was originally rendered as and became the modern character 口. So, with some characters like these, you might be able to guess the meaning from the shape of the character itself, since it's just a slightly altered form of an ancient drawing. Let's take a closer look at some more examples of this type of character. Let's start with a few characters that have to do with the human body. 人. Now, pronounce it with me. 人. This means person, as we saw before, and it still kind of looks like a person with 2 legs. 口. Pronounce with me. 口. This means mouth, and looks like a mouth, as we just saw. 手. Pronounce with me. 手. This means hand. Can you see the fingers? This character is also sometimes written as. We'll talk more about this type of alternate form of character in a bit. 目. Pronounce with me. 目. This means eye. In ancient days, it was flipped horizontally, and the middle box looked like the pupil of an eye. Cool, right? 心. Pronounce with me. 心. This used to be shaped much more like an actual heart. In ancient days, the modern character also sometimes appears as. Now, let's look at a few characters that have to do with nature. 山, pronounce with me. 山. This means mountain, as we saw before. 水, pronounce with me. 水. This means water, and it used to be written an image of a flowing stream. This modern character is also sometimes written as, which kind of looks like 3 drops of water. 火, pronounced with me. 火. This means fire, and it used to be written as. Can you see the resemblance? The modern character is also sometimes written as, sort of like a fire heating something from below. Finally, let's look at a few characters that have to do with transportation. 马, pronounce with me. 马. This means horse, and it used to be written as. Can you still make out the remnants of the old picture? 车, pronounce with me. 车. This means vehicle or wagon. Can you make out the axles and a cabin? You're going to want to remember these characters and their meanings. Why? We'll tell you in just a bit.